Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. Those things we didn't get to during the course of the show today. Let me see here. What was the thing? Oh, there was a rumor going around that Disney Channel was going to be canceled.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, it is. I might let you explain the theory. Or do you want me to present my theory? Or?
No, go ahead.
No. Okay. Well, it's interesting because you can go to Disney Plus these days, which I know they want to be successful, and it has struggled in the past to be utterly beneficial.
This year just became profitable.
So
this year.
For them, maybe the idea is like, let's scream into success here. But when you go to Disney Plus, you can stream actual things. But then it's so doggone weird because they have literal streaming sections on Disney Plus where you can go to like in essence a channel, click on it, and it'll just show you stuff continuously, like Disney Channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because Disney Channel launched in 1983.
Oh, wow.
Which I had no idea it was that old. They had Hannah Montana High School Musical.
Nice.
Now you have Bluey and Marvel's Spidey and stuff like that. But the rumor was that Disney was going away, the channel that you get on your cable package and things like that, but Disney Plus would stay, which in some ways would make sense because Disney Plus, they need to make more money because they've been failing.
Drive people there.
So if you get rid of all that, then you have no option. But it's not going away, at least not in the U.S. In reality, it was a misunderstanding that the Disney Channel is actually leaving two TV services, but they are not doing that in the States. But sometimes what happens in other countries ends up here, like Netflix. Remember Netflix? We're cracking down on passwords in
Venezuela,
Brazil, and things like that, and then the next thing you know, 3 months later, it's like, oh yeah, you can't share passwords anymore. So who knows? It could be there. My wife had to wait 3 months. She just wanted to get a Hulu subscription, but because we had a Disney thing and they've bundled them now, she had to wait for her subscription to expire before she could upgrade to another one. It made no sense to me.
Yeah, I don't think that's right.
It's just like, we're trying to give you money. Why would you not do this?
Yeah, that's not right.
And now we have Disney Plus and Hulu, and I really only want Hulu, but it's like $10 a month for both. And I don't watch Disney Plus at all.
Who does?
I do.
Gavin.
I mean, but in your family.
Oh, okay.
I think my daughter might still have it. Like, she watches it, so she still has the login for it. But we had her Hulu login, so it was kind of a trade. And so now I think we just have it all. That checks out.
There we go.
Doesn't that check out? A wedding gift. We're going to keep our subscription.
You're good, right?
This was weird. The District of Columbia, so D.C., sued Amazon on Wednesday, alleging that they have secretly stopped providing the fastest service, like the 2-day or same-day deliveries, things like that you get with your Prime membership, claiming that they were doing it to certain areas in predominantly black neighborhoods while still charging millions of dollars for the membership. And so they said Amazon's Prime membership that cost you $139 a year. Remember when it was $99? It's gone up, and they said that there are certain exclusions that they make that they will not deliver to in that time frame. And Amazon said, well, we are concerned about driver safety in certain targeted zip codes. So we're using UPS and we're using the U.S. Postal Service. They are not our trucks because I guess they're more of a target for some reason. And so, they're not doing that. Now, this is where the problem is. Like, I actually get that from a business standpoint. When you watch companies pull out of San Francisco downtown because of all this nonsense looting and things like that, it's like, well, you hurt yourself. If you mess around, find out. Play dumb games, win stupid prizes. And it's like you have no one to blame but yourself. But unfortunately, it hurts everybody in that neighborhood. For the few that are being dumb, it hurts everybody. But the thing about this is, I think, is the problem. More so than not delivering to them, but it's still charging people in that area that Amazon Prime. So if you live in one of those areas and you're not going to get things sent to you quickly, you shouldn't be paying for Amazon Prime. They should tell you that. And that's kind of what the lawsuit is. I dug into it. That's what the lawsuit is alleging. They're like, that's fine, we get it, but you should be telling these people so that if you know you live in this zip code, why would you spend the extra money if you can't get the service quickly like you want. And then if I'm a postal employee or a UPS employee, I'm like, why do you guys hate me? Why you want me to get killed? It's like they're like, let them take the bullet. It's crazy. So, but anyway, so that is a thing. I found something on Amazon last night. I got surprised by it. I was trying to do some ordering for my wife for Christmas, and
You're still?
Yeah, I'm still.
Great husband.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good people. But there were a couple things I was getting ready to order her, and we're Prime members. I don't even look at it anymore. Prime, go send it to me. Send it to me. Send it to me. I don't even think twice about it. And there was a shirt that was like, oh, that'll be there January 29th if you want free delivery, or you can have it in 8 days for $29. I'm like, what? I'm Prime. But then my wife showed me there's a thing you can click on the left-hand side that says only Prime deals.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this. And so I just shop like all the time. You seem like you know this. This is common
it's
knowledge.
a filter thing.
Yeah.
I feel like all websites have the filter thing where you can like say, I only want to see these items in this.
Yeah, this is why I shop online horribly. I have to watch myself. I do things the way I think they should be done, but they don't do things the way I would do them. And so I mess up. Like I had a billing address and shipping address mistake because I didn't hit the little click button because it was buried. It's like, just make that obvious, for people like myself who are maybe have ADD.
ADHD.
I'm figuring this out. What's the difference? Hyperactive disorder? I mean, they're basically the same thing. One, you're just a little hyper, maybe. I don't know. I think it's the same thing, right? No?
I don't think so.
I'm probably not going to research it. All right. Lady Rock, what do you got?
Well, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I mean, he's larger than life. He's a big guy. You don't want to double cross him, that's for sure. He was recently in an interview where the guy sat him down and he asked, hey, what do you do for fun? And The Rock looked at him and he was like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, you get on your socials and all it is it's tied to your work.
Yeah,
like,
I got this movie coming out, this thing, that thing.
He's like, I've seen you go fishing maybe twice on your social media. And The Rock was like, well, give me an example. Like, it's sad that you have to ask for, give me an example of what fun is so I can see if I've done any of that. And so anyways, come to find out, Dwayne could not think of one single thing he's done that was considered fun. Everything has been tied to work. He's just constantly been working.
When you think about it, look, I mean, his whole life, he has to eat well. He has to work out. He has to keep that look.
That image.
And he should be in the best time of his life. He's got more money than he'll ever need. And he should be like, do one movie and then not work for 8 months.
Yeah, but he is an entrepreneur. Like, he does a lot of things. He's got a lot of business.
Got a hair product that Gavin bought. You still using it?
Hair product.
So weird. He's
I still
bald.
use the deodorant. I wish I had the body wash.
I bet you do.
So, I mean, like, he's doing things. It's interesting. Yeah, it's like, would you rather have, because I'm sure that nets him a much larger profit, but it's like, yeah, you probably could go do 1 or 2 movies a year and then let some of your businesses just run themselves, work out in the morning. I'm sure he still enjoys doing all that.
I know you have to strike while the iron's hot, while you're still, while you still have juice, as they say.
And you have to stay in front of the public eye.
Right.
So it's like you can't enjoy the now because you're constantly thinking about the then.
Yeah. And so I would definitely, if I was that, I know like very driven people always will work. And like you don't make it in Hollywood without being super driven.
Right.
It's not always the most talented that make it. It's the ones that work the hardest,
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just ingrained in you.
Those people have a lot of problems.
Yeah. But it's like at some point, man, just enjoy the fruits of your labor. You did it. You made it.
It's like Adele. She recently made an announcement saying that she was done with her Vegas term. And she was like, I've worked for 7 years and I've gotten to where I am. I want to enjoy it.
And she's not that old either.
No.
She's
like
late
early
30s?
Yeah.
Early 30s?
It's somewhere in there.
30s,
Not retirement age, but hey, if you've worked hard enough, and again, like maybe she probably could come back after a few years and still be a great singer and go make more money.
I think a lot of celebrities, maybe like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, they want to be relevant and to stay relevant. And I'm sure he's getting older, so he's probably thinking, am I able to stay relevant if I'm getting older?
If Liam Neeson can still fight people in a movie, you're going to be good for a while.
That's so true. So he's working. But anyways, so after he had this conversation with this interviewer, it kind of hit him, and he later that week posted a photo of him laying out by his pool with his feet up, and it gave a shout out to that interviewer, like it tagged him and everything. And so it seems like it took to heart. Like he was like, yeah, what am I doing for fun? If I can't even think of one thing, that's pretty sad.
Yeah.
So.
It's weird. Like this job, you constantly work and you're constantly looking for ideas and new things and new segments and stuff. And so it's just a throughout the day thing. And I find myself sometimes when I have time to myself in the middle of the day, like we've already put in, by the time I go home, we've already put in a full day plus.
Right.
But then I find myself feeling guilty, like that I'm not still working. And so then I'll do something else and things like that. And it's like not a healthy mindset for sure.
Who is the guilty? Who's guilting you?
Me. It's just me. My wife, no. My wife would rather I not do as much. But I don't know what it is. It's just that
just
thing.
the way you're wired.
Yeah,
Well,
really.
Even
It
in
is.
the post, he says, I'm learning how to stop and do this more.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because in my head, I'm like, we don't have to learn how to do less. Per se, which is,
but that's so great.
but like,
It's true.
you are though, but you are like somebody who is very committed to what you do and love doing it. And that's the thing, like with him, it's like I wouldn't judge Dwayne for working hard all the time.
Right.
Because he is successful. And I think there's an element of enjoying it while still doing it.
Yeah, I definitely want to get better at enjoying the moment that you're in, because my whole life has been spent looking towards the next thing, and and sometimes you miss those moments, and you don't enjoy. I've worked really hard, and you don't enjoy that work, you don't enjoy the fruits of that labor, and so on the times when I do have it balanced out. It is good because a lot of times what I do find is I go and I do something and then content comes from that, because I went and did something. Oh, this is a good idea for a bit or a segment or something like that. But when I sit at my house and I sit at my island and I just bang out stuff, sometimes it gets a little like it's where I start to burn out. And then the irony is you're not creating as much good stuff because you're not living life. But then when you go live life, you feel guilty that you are not back at the table working. It's really
in
weird.
your mindset.
In my head. Yeah, in my head. And it's completely self-inflicted. Like no one puts pressure on me. My wife doesn't.
But it's funny because it was even funny because I was thinking about, in essence, because I think we all view what is fun in different ways, like you doing like woodwork and stuff like that. I don't view that as fun.
Right.
That looks like work to me.
Right.
Because I'm not good at it. But like even in the other, I was like, I really wanted a new cutting board. And in my head, I was like, I kind of want to ask Wally to make one for me.
I know how.
But in my head, I'm like, God, am I asking him to do something and thus adding something to his plate?
Oh, sure.
That would be work.
Right.
Versus if I asked you, would it be something you'd be like, oh, cool, like that's a fun project for me to go and enjoy?
Yeah. What kind of cutting board are you thinking?
Probably
He's
like
gonna do it.
like a
What are you talking? Like solid wood?
solid
you
wood.
acrylic? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'd pay you. I would. That would be a. I obviously don't expect it for free, but I would.
Trying to think of what wood I have.
We brokering a deal here?
I'm just trying to think of what wood I have right now.
I'll take whatever you
I
have.
could do.
I'm not picky.
You want to take this off the Aftercast?
What's that? Yeah,
Take this conversation.
We'll take this offline.
There you go.
As they say.
There you go. You want to do birthdays?
Let's do birthdays.
Okay. Jamie, we're going to get a lot of them in because we've been missing for a couple of days. Jamie, she celebrated a birthday on November 20th. She said, I'm a wife, mom of 5, listener since 2011, and longtime potty. Thanks for all you do. Man, thank you. And happy birthday, Jamie. John and Elizabeth Clausen want to wish their granddaughter Eileen a happy birthday, saying Eileen is a considerate and loving girl. She studies French, loves her weekly Girl Guides activities, and caring for her goats and chickens. Isabel, to her brother Bruce, who celebrated a birthday November 23rd. Bruce is such an amazing brother to me, and we are just so blessed to have him. Love you, Bruce Juice. That's what Isabel said, not me. But happy birthday, Bruce.
Like hitting on all of our listeners. Like, way to go, Rock.
Yeah. Raquel to Nerasa. She's
That's
said
new.
she's just an amazing prayer partner. Happy birthday. Lydia wants to wish her sister Mara, who is turning 13. She turned 13 on the 2nd. A happy birthday. Said she loves animals, especially cats, and she's a great sister. And sounds like she's smart too. Silas, to his grandmother Emily, happy birthday. Said she is the best grandmother ever. She studies the Bible with me every week and is very loving and kind. Then Jamie wants to wish her cousin Margaret a happy birthday. She celebrated yesterday. Said she's been through so much this year, having 2 miscarriages and now a divorce. But she's a loyal potty, and I think she could use some uplifting. I would say that for sure. Her cousin Margaret. Want to sing the happy birthday song?
Absolutely.
do it.
Happy birthday from us to you. Wish you was a birthday. We can party too. Hey.
Merry Christmas.
And then finally, Jocelyn,
Happy
to her
birthday.
husband, Matt. Happy birthday. He's celebrating today. Said he's a wonderful husband to me and a father to Carissa, Laylan, and Naaya. And he's turning 40. Oof, man. Her question is, with Matt's 40th birthday, what kind of midlife crisis should he have?
Oh, like what's okay
no
at 40?
motorcycles.
Okay. Yeah.
At 40, what do you see yourself doing when you
10
turn
years from
40,
now?
Gavin, having a midlife crisis?
That's a good question. Trying to think of like what can I accomplish in 10 years and thus need to go back to.
Did you feel like you had a midlife crisis at 40, Wally?
Not really. 40 wasn't a big deal.
Have you
50
ever
was
had
a
one?
big deal.
50 was worse. Yeah. I guess you would say a midlife crisis, but I just like to do different things. And it's not like, oh, I've got this empty thing in my life. I need to fill it with this. But I like to do things
It seems
that I
like
couldn't
once
afford to
you
do
entered
before.
your 50s, you had a
Death wish?
death wish. Like you were looking for anything and everything that could possibly hurt
Yeah,
you.
you doing
Yeah.
the
Just to
motorcycle
push
was
it.
wild.
The motorcycle was a mistake. That one was a mistake. I was not prepared for
Then
that.
he did the dirt bike and then
That's the one,
lodged
yeah,
a
the-
log up his nose.
Yeah,
It was-
that's still-
the dirt bike was the mistake for sure.
He did mountain biking and
That's still-
injured
yeah.
Good
himself
choice.
multiple times.
I have hurt myself. Still nursing injuries from that.
You like wave boarded. Wait, what was it? You did the simulation wave thing for hours on end on your Hawaii trip.
Oh, that was
That led
fun.
to
Oh my
exhaustion,
gosh.
but
Yeah.
you kind of were like, oh, I still have time. I can get going.
Yeah, I definitely like to do things. I mean, I guess you could consider it a midlife crisis, but like I buy tools for woodworking and stuff. It's just stuff I like to do. It's not like that I've got to go to flashy cars so I feel young again and people like get girls to look at me in my car, something
right.
like that.
But
you know?
it sounds like Matt is turning 40 with 3 daughters. So he's got a wife and 3 daughters.
He may need some guy stuff.
Yeah.
I could see, like, if I'm thinking ahead, Bennett will be around 10 or 11 by the time I'm 40.
Wow.
And let's say he's playing soccer, playing sports. That's just my hope, so I can share that with him. But I think I'll probably have, unless I get my act together here in the next decade physically, I'll probably have a like playing sports with my son moment. I could see the full like home gym thing happening.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Women, I
happen.
think women have midlife crises too, but they're just a
Yes.
little different. They usually don't
Yes.
involve a sports car.
It might turn into like plastic surgery.
Yeah. For a friend.
Yeah, I don't know. Or Botox. Have a Botox party.
Yeah.
It definitely looks different for women.
I think sometimes things that get misdiagnosed as a midlife crisis is like something that guys have wanted for a long time, but because you have family obligations and you don't want to go buy a motorcycle for yourself because you're still putting a kid through college or
Right.
whatever. I think that's a delayed gratification, and so there comes a point in time where you're like, oh,
My
I actually
life is
can go
almost
buy
over.
this. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I see my life like that. I see my life as being on the downhill slope of my life, and it's almost over. Like that's how I envision it.
Wow.
And so I'm like, I have less days, less trips around the sun than I had in front of me. But like for me, like when I bought the motorcycle, total impulse buy. Like should have thought that through a little bit. I had buyer's remorse early on too.
It was kind of like a marriage. Like you're already walking down the aisle
Yeah.
and you know this is not a
Yeah.
good idea, but you went with it anyway.
I know I
Did
should have
you-
run.
Did you get it though? Because I think you did it, and you were gonna. It was gonna be an avenue with which you could connect with Phil.
Phil,
here
yeah,
at
yeah,
work.
yeah.
Did you get it for
that's
you,
right,
or
because
did
you're
you?
like the girl, the
I am.
girlfriend that
That
likes
takes
to
on the
adapt
hobbies.
to
Yeah.
it.
Did you get it for Phil or did you get it for you?
I got it because I always wanted one, but then I'm like, okay, so
I get that.
So Phil rides, that's great. I can go ride with him, and then Phil tried to kill me multiple times by taking me the
Left you
hardest.
for dead
yeah,
on
taking me to
certain-
hard
It
places
sounded-
that were way beyond
Yeah.
my skill
It
set.
sounded way hard, and like I'm not going to pretend to think that I could have done it, but I always imagine it. I'm like, yeah, it's a machine. It works for me.
No,
but
it
it
does
sounds
not.
so much harder
It works
than
against
I would
you
expect.
because it is trying to kill you, and it is going fast, and then it
stuck.
turns in a split second and throws you off of. I got thrown off of that motorcycle more than I got thrown off my bike. Like, I mean, I got thrown, and when you get thrown off the motorcycle, you're going faster. I hit trees. I mean, like,
Yeah, we know.
I almost, I just, good Lord, it was so bad. But yeah, in retrospect, that was one like splurge that I should not have bought, and hopefully I've learned from that. I think maybe.
So, Matt, best of luck.
Good luck to you.
Get a motorcycle.
Don't
Yeah.
try and hurt yourself,
Yeah.
okay? You have nothing to prove. Your daughters and your wife
See,
love you, so just accept it.
He
and move
still
on.
have daughters. He's got to marry off and things like that, so he can't have a full blown crisis
Yeah,
yet.
you're almost like you're
Yeah.
almost theoretically an absolute true empty nester.
Oh, I know.
Because
Yeah,
once
yeah.
she's married off,
Yeah.
boom.
And-
It's not like you have other things in the wings.
And she's getting married next year, and so maybe early next year, like June is what we're looking at. Yeah, yeah. So fast, done.
Love
I'm
it.
Done.
Get it out of there.
So good.
Say goodbye.
Well, she's trying to figure that out because she wants Jeremy, a friend of ours that kind of knew her from the time she's born, to do the wedding. And the only of the dates she wanted, the only time we could do it is June. And so she'd rather do it in August, but he can't
Hey,
do
man,
it then.
get it out of the way. That
I
means
know.
you don't have to
That's
spend,
what I said.
You don't have to spend a year in the stresses
Yeah.
of planning.
But
Maybe
she's
just-
stressing about it. Like, it's so fast. I'm like, it'll be fine. Don't
you can
worry about
handle
it.
it.
Yeah,
There's
it'll be
it's
fine.
invitations.
I know.
And then just
And the
it
invitations
simple.
are short because it's
Yeah.
going to be out of the country.
Yeah.
So very few people are going to go. And so then really you're only going to plan a party when you get back for your friends. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
But
I like it.
she doesn't look at it like that.
That's how men think.
Yeah,
of,
exactly.
weddings.
Exactly.
We
Even
are-
Betty Rock's like, is easy.
Oh, yeah. I could easily see myself once I get engaged being like, okay, let's just go today.
Yeah, exactly.
I've heard.
Get it done.
I could see Betty Rock doing that on a second date.
I-
Let's just go
No.
do this today.
No. Well,
It's like
no.
a message she sends on the app too. I will say I know a ton more of my peers these days that are eloping. Like it's something
Oh,
that's
yeah.
happening
Yeah.
so much more often than I would have expected.
I
Yeah.
can see myself doing that. But it won't be like a destination wedding. It'll be like here.
At the courthouse.
Yeah, nowhere special.
No, you don't need to do that. Come on, how am I going to walk you down a courthouse aisle?
Because you're not going to.
That's
You
not,
may not
that's
be there.
Can I do it?
My parents will be there, and that's
Can we be like your? Can we be?
Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
no, because it'll turn into a Michael Scott situation.
I will do this for you. You're right. Your dad should walk you down the aisle, 100%.
Wow.
Yeah,
time
I
I've
agree.
But-
I agree. I'll do the wedding for you for free.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
at all.
Actually,
it'd be
though.
so good.
For free.
Yeah,
I don't care.
it'd be so good.
No.
Because no one knows you like I know you. I know you better than most people know you.
I don't want you anywhere close to it.
Okay.
She's lying.
I'm in.
no,
That's her
I don't
invitation.
I
want it.
accept. That's
No.
all I heard was you'll do it.
I don't want it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that kindness, let's wrap up the Aftercast. And thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.